like and subscribe, or I will uncensor 096's face. When you and the homies are chilling in the breach shelter, but suddenly a black puddle starts to appear on the floor. SCP goes terrible in 2022. It can cause a broken masquerade because it's gone terrible. Siren Head, not being a SCP, the back rooms. Other combative task forces, Epsilon 11, the SCP community, non-combative task forces. The Shark Punching Center, when they find the ORC member that made an unpunchable shark, SCP-1057. It's just not the same. SCP-173, I promise, I won't cry. I'm a grown man. I'm a big adult. I can do this. SCP-173. 2022, the SCP community. 2022, SCP Heretic cancelled. SCP-173 image removed. Those who don't know, those who know. SCP Unity is cancelled. SCP-173 OG images getting removed. SCP Heretic is cancelled. New SCP film, cancelled. SCP-914's description. SCP-914's test logs. L plus ratio plus immense sized plus keter duty plus demoted to D class plus exposed to info hazards plus secured plus contained plus protected plus no pataphysics. Mobile Task Force, Chaos Insurgency, many keter and Euclid breaches. I can't believe he didn't cry during Titanic. Do men even have feelings? 173 image gone. SCP Heretic cancelled. Complain about no munchie, complain about bad bed. SCP-4966 during an interview after a raid of the Chaos Insurgency. POV, you hate SCP-999 and SCP-6101. 173's picture is getting removed. SCP Heretic is cancelled. Backrooms exists. People who know about SCP-3008. Hey, I've seen this one. The rest of the internet. What do you mean you've seen this? It's brand new. SCP-106 every few months. It's showtime. The Foundation when they forget about SCP-913's barely meal, and he starts eating through the wall, confused screaming. Reasons I will be sad this Valentine's Day. SCP-173's picture is getting removed. Nobody loves me.